There's an experience I have carried in my heart, and I feel today is like one of the best days to talk about them since we are having the 13-day series celebrating our man of God. Hey guys, welcome back. So today is day one of talking about the impact of Pastor Chris in my life. I just want to share a testimony, very short. Pastor has impacted my life in so many ways. In fact, the one that really stood out for me was the very first time I joined ministry. I was one of the people that never liked Christ Embassy. But when I joined, the first service I attended, only the preaching of the pastor, that particular day, Pastor Camius Amasiwe, I fell in love. That was the very first time that a church welcomed me like I meant something. And it was so mind blowing for me as a teenager then. Now, it so happened that it was November and I was just hearing, ITPOC, ITPOC, ITPOC. I've never seen Pastor Chris in my entire life. I was opportune to attend the ICPOC 2018. It was glorious. I remember we had it in Ikaja that time. The impact that I'm talking about happened on the last day, and that was the day Pastor came. Somehow that day, because Pastor was coming, everybody was rushing, they were trying, in fact, they were injuring themselves. It made them like, is that how they still do in this church? Why are they pushing themselves because Pastor Chris is coming? But somehow, I think one of the ushers noticed how calm I was. She was like, okay, you come inside. And then straight to the front seat. I was literally like, the first row is for the leaders, then the second seat, that was where I sat. Now, Pastor came that particular day, I could remember. And I could remember because it was one of the things about Pastor that stood out for me. And then that day, Pastor came, was ministering. You know, when Pastor is with teenagers, he's just this, Pastor is a lover of people. Pastor loves people so much. Pastor is so passionate. Pastor cares about people a lot. And that day, Pastor was sharing teachings about how we should keep ourselves, our body as teenagers, as youth. And then questions, teenagers were asking questions because it was my first time ever seeing him. I kept wondering in my heart, am I really sitting in front of Pastor Chris? Is this really Pastor Chris? And then afterwards, Pastor called for people that wanted to give their lives to Christ. And then I was already born again and I've already done that. But I've not, I just wanted to come out. So I came out that day and that was the first time Pastor laid his hands on me. And after that, I went back to my seats. And then this was one thing the pastor said to me. I always, when I remember this, I always say it was to me because I've never heard anybody tell me that they believed in my future. So while we're done, Pastor said something. Pastor said, I believe in your future. You know, for everybody, they were just excited, they were screaming, but that wasn't it for me. That word sunk deep into my heart. I was like, I've never heard someone told me that they believed in my future. That day, I knew what it is I wanted to be. I knew that I wanted to so muchly serve God. I knew I wanted to be in Christ. I knew I wanted to just hold on to God that nothing in this life could shake me. I was like, for someone as that to tell me that he believes in my future, he doesn't know me. Like that word kept ringing in my head all through till today. Sometimes when things are not going as it is supposed to, when I just think of Pastor believes in me, Pastor believes in my future, Pastor knows that I can do this. That word keeps me going, and it has been from glory to glory. So there's so many impacts, but today is the one. But this particular one is one that shaped my mindset, one that shaped my life. Pastor gave me a word that I would never have heard it from anywhere else. And for that, I'm grateful for the gifts of my man of God. Pastor, I want to say that I'm so thankful. I am doing big things right now because of that word that you said on that particular day. So I'm grateful. Pastor Sir, I love you so dearly. I love you so very much. And honestly, I am what I am today because of who you are, because you answered that call, because you said yes to God. And thank you so much for this part of me that you have brought to the world, for the boldness, the confidence that I have by just being under your tutelage. I am so grateful and thank you so much, sir. Happy birthday in advance, Pastor Sir. I love you dearly. Bye.